probably already know about my story, how I was practicing licks for days and days, and I was just really obsessed over every single lick, and I remember them still to this day, actually. So this was one of the great learning periods with guitar for me. So one day I was actually struggling to think of something that I want to practice, so I decided that I'm gonna learn something new. And there was a song that I really liked, like there was this guitar player called Jason Richardson, and he has a song called Omni, and there's a really fast alternate picking passage there, and then a big, very big, like maybe, I don't know, 12 seconds long lick where he plays it super high tempos, like it's awesome, and I mainly liked it because it's fast. But I looked at it, I looked at the tabs, and it was actually not that hard to learn it. Like, it was super hard to go up to the speed, but remembering the notes was not that hard. And you might say, okay, but remembering the notes in like Sweet Child of Mine or even Smoke on the Water is not that hard, but the lick is not super impressive. Well, yeah, but this one is fast and this one is impressive. And actually, the reason that I was able to learn it so fast was because it used different chunks, like different parts of licks that I already knew. And this was my aha moment. Wait, so I don't need to play this lick, then go into another one. I can take which parts of them I like, I can merge them together and create this awesome new sounding lick. Like, this was probably the coolest realization moment in my whole lead guitar playing journey. So this is what I'm gonna teach you here, how to actually write your own shred riffs using shred licks, using all of these strategies. I'm gonna give you 3 ways to write your own shred licks, and I give you my word that if you master all of those, you'll be feeling more than proud of yourself and what you can do. So the first one is using patterns, and this is not to be mistaken with licks. For patterns, the more important thing is their melodic idea, like how do you actually arrange the notes. And if you change the notes, you can still have the same pattern, but if you change the notes in a lick, well, that's a whole different lick, right? So a pattern is something that you can use in different scales, different keys, different modes, different position of a single scale. Like, the melodic pattern is key here. So the first pattern that I'm gonna show you is this pentatonic pattern, but it's not one of those overused ones. It actually sounds cool. And then another pattern I'm gonna demonstrate is this diminished pattern, which I know from Jeff Loomis, and I've used it in all kinds of different keys. Now, don't just learn the tabs of this stuff. I don't want you to just be looking, yeah, he plays 14, then 13 and all of this stuff. I want you to actually make sure that you have the shape down under your fingers. And for instance, if I start over 14 and I show you the original thing at the 14th fret, well, make sure that you can play it starting from the 19th fret. Make sure that you can play it starting from the 9th fret. Like, there's a lot of possibilities with guitar, and you will just change the key that way. So you will actually just have the same shape, but just changing the key. Alright, but what if we want to change the scale? Let's say that I'm playing 14, 13 and 11, so I'm just descending over the notes on the highest string, and I want to play that over the first position of G major. Alright, so I'm gonna do 8, 7 and 5, and this is a different shape, it's a different scale, it's a different key, but the melodic pattern, like the idea that I just descend the 3 notes on the highest string, remains the same. So none of this stuff, I already learned it, I remember the tabs, I don't need to learn anything like that. No, you actually gotta take it into different keys, into different places of the guitar to really get the pattern, not the shape, not the idea that I'm just using the diminished scale here, the pattern under your fingers. That's what I'm gonna try and teach you here with this particular step. Another way to get good at writing your own licks is actually scale navigation. And there are 3 types of scale navigation that give you a different disposition for writing licks. The first one is horizontal, the second one is diagonal, and then the third one is 3 notes per string. So the horizontal one is quite useful for when writing something ascending or descending, and you can really just linearly follow the thing what you do. For instance, I play the first 3 notes of the scale and I move 1 forward, then I play the next 3 notes of the scale and all of this stuff. So this is, again, I explain it like a pattern, but you can treat it as a horizontal way of navigating through the scale. So that's what you can do, like linear progressions with the horizontal stuff. For instance, if you gotta play some arpeggios that you really gotta ascend very fast, well, 3 notes per string is kind of slow. 1 note per, horizontal is quite slow because you gotta cover all of this distance, like all of this part of the fretboard in order to just ascend 1 octave, which is hard. But in using the diagonal scale navigation, you can ascend really fast. Just playing 1 or 2 notes per string and repeating that over octaves will really get you high up the neck in no time. The vertical stuff, the 3 note per string stuff, I always use for just fast and shreddy stuff that I really wanna kind of like impress the listener with, because yeah, everybody's saying, no, I do it just for me. Bro, I want to sound cool. Like, I will not lie to you and say, no, I don't care about what the listeners think. Absolutely I do. But the thing is that I actually gotta know what I do so that they're impressed, not show something that I've learned so I impress them. Like, it doesn't really happen in the other way around. I know what they want to hear, so I play it. No. I know what I can do, and I play it well, so that then I can impress them. And 3 notes per string is quite impressive, even if you actually combine it with the other stuff. 3 notes per string licks that you actually do over diagonals, like over octaves. That's gonna be amazing. And finally, probably the easiest thing that you can do is just get 2 licks that are both in A minor or that are both around the 12th fret and try and combine them. They will sound good. Oh, but Theo, I don't know what key the licks that I know are. Bro, doesn't matter. Try and actually play them together. And if it doesn't sound good, tweak the notes so that they do sound good, right? That's a kind of a lazy approach, but it does work. Like, I've created a lot of my licks and my solos using that thing, because I know this cool lick around the 12th fret of the 6th string here that's in E minor, and I know the other thing that's in A minor. Okay, so I just gotta change. What do we have? Well, in E minor we have A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G, and in A minor we just have A, B, C, D, F, and A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, right? So from A minor, I'm just gonna make the F an F sharp note, and I'm already good. And it's not that much, like, it's not super hard. I might not even be using the F note, so it will both sound good. Like, they will both sound either in A minor or in E minor. It doesn't really matter. So it's not that much work. Like, you just gotta try and actually start, instead of doing all of the, no, but if I actually do it like this, it doesn't sound good, because, bro, I don't care why it doesn't sound good. Make it sound good, right? This is your responsibility. And just a disclaimer, before you actually try and do that in your solo, don't repeat the licks for 10 seconds. Like, I do get bored after I hear a lick being repeated for the 4th time, and I bet all of the other listeners do too. And even if they're not professionals, like, they just, I once heard somebody explain it in a very cool way, that licks are almost like magic tricks. Once you know how you play them and once you know how they work, they're not as impressive. So why would you make yourself not as impressive by just repeating the lick over and over 16 times and giving the listener the opportunity to know how it works? Just do it less than 4 times is what I found works great. So practice all of this stuff, and once you're ready with the patterns, the scale navigation, and the combination of licks, you will always be able to create something very cool on the fly.